I didn't want to play that. Hey there, guys! Welcome into the Fallout Shelter. I think it's starting to come on now. Starting to get my feed so I can see it. Hey there, Lynette. Hey there, Valiant One. How y'all doing today? Much love to you. I'm gonna do a couple of things today. This is a very impromptu. I was supposed to be at work, but I woke up this morning and I had a flat tire, a dead battery, corroded battery cables, and I just got through getting all that fixed at about 11. And I started to check a couple things, and I found some interesting information I wanted to bring right along, and I figured it'd be a good day to explain why I scream. Hey there, BS and Awesome Bill. Good to see you. Much love to you guys. I've explained it many, many times, but I have a different explanation for it now, and I hope you get it. If you don't, I'm sorry. Hey there, Ryan. Much love to you. Good to see you. T. Luke, Jeff Saved by Christ, John Hart Crane. Oh, good to see all of you guys. Always better, brother. Oh, wow. Denise, Jennifer, all y'all coming on in. Much love to you. Got truth. Ha ha ha. And you know, y'all guys that come in here and do share this stuff, y'all are the ones that make a big difference. But the ones that don't share it, y'all aren't helping anything. And I'm as bad as the rest of us. I'm not talking just to you. I'm talking just to me. There's a lot of things that I scroll right by that I should share, and I don't. And I've got to get better at that. We've all got to get better at that because in these days of censorship, in these days of, listen, YouTube can't stop people from getting 1 million views on a truth video if everybody that sees it shares it. But most everybody's scared of what somebody's going to think about them. I ran into that in a store the other day. Ran into a woman, and I just start these conversations, you know. I just start them, and I don't care who thinks anything of me because I'm trying to get this message out. And the woman behind the counter said, "Oh, my third eye's open. I know what's going on." I said, "Well, are you screaming about it?" She said, "No, I can't talk about it. People think I'm crazy." Do y'all see the problem with that? I see a big problem with that. How many people out there see what's going on and won't stand up for it? You might as well just sit on down. You know, you're going to be good at maybe protecting yourself, but we're at a day and age, guys, and I really believe this, and this isn't a fearful thing for me. We're at a day and age where the history will write down who stood and who didn't, and history will dictate, you know, the winner will dictate the history that's written. Now, me in general, I'm going to stand up for people that hate me standing up for them. Because that's just what we're supposed to do. And see, I know you guys do, but this is what I'm getting to. There's about 25 to 30 people that take part in chats in these live streams. They get viewed 627 times. Most of those come from people who are sharing it back and forth, above and beyond, and we're all trying to get it out there. But then there's a lot of people that say they understand what's going on, and then they won't stand up for what's going on. Well, we got to stand up for those people, and then we got to stand up for the people that won't open their eyes to what's going on and see what's going on. And somehow, there it is. Could not find my water glass. You said it, Don. Yo, Rick, Richard, good to see you guys. YouTube sucks. Oh, I always chuckle when I see that name. Oh, if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. I'm kind of getting this off my chest real quick. Right, Denise just said it. Other countries are fighting back and we aren't. What is wrong with us? We're supposed to be the one bastion left that can. Oh, man. Okay, well, these things that I'm saying aren't going to be super popular, but I'm kind of past the point of that. That really don't matter. And I'm trying not to scream yet because I don't want to run the people off that don't like it. Now, I'm going to tell those people something right now, and look, there's links to everything that I go over in the description every time. People have said, oh, you ought to put it in the chat. Okay, well, I've tried that. That sucks for me. Some people say you ought to pin it in the link, in the comments. That just don't work for me. I don't mind taking the time to put it in the description. Guess what? If there's a dead link in the description, try to look it up in web archives. Because I don't read from everything that's in these descriptions. It's just a ton of information I'm sharing. And then I basically come on here and scream my opinion that we need to stand up. Now, why do I scream? All of y'all know that I am a follower of Christ. I am a believer. Okay? You may or may not believe, and that is your decision to make. But I do believe. So I try to live by those teachings. And I don't believe Jesus Christ walked into the temple and said, "Hey guys, would y'all please stop doing this in the temple because it's not what my Father would want, and we just don't need to be doing this. We've got to come together in a peaceful protest and stop this." Guys, I'm sorry. No, he went in with a whip and cleared it. Now, you may believe that, you may not. But the story is the story, and I do believe it. It's time to clear out the temple, people. Now, I'm trying not to scream yet. I scream because you won't. Not you guys in chat. This is for the people that leave comments, watch the videos, and come back. I'm not mad at you. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the feedback. Some of the feedback is excellent. Like I need to make things bigger on the screen. Absolutely, I need to know those things. I appreciate that. Some people say, hey, you don't read a lot of what you put up. Okay, no, I do not. I put the link in the description so you can go do your research and you can read it. I give you as much as I can out of it and tell you this is what makes me think this way about it. I scream because most of the people that believe this aren't out there screaming. This makes me angry. This pisses me off that the American people have been dumbed down with fluoride in the water. It pisses me off that people have been dumbed down with basically the poisoning and the denutrifying of their food. I don't know if that's a word or not, but it sounded good to me just then. They've been poisoned with the aerosols and particles that are in the air. They've been programmed with the television. They've been given pharmaceutical medications that kill exactly what's going on in there. It's no wonder Americans have a dead look in their eye when you try to talk to them about this. That's why I call it the fluoride stare. I honestly can't believe that. And people say it's great information, but the way you bring it across. I say in my streams, if you don't like the way I bring it across, go put it out yourself. I don't care. I don't care if anybody mirrors my videos. I don't care if they take the information and don't credit me for it. I'm not about that. I'm about saving human lives. I'm about loving our brother. I'm about being there for those brothers even when they don't want you to be. I say it all the time. Take the information and do with it what you will. And you know what? I've said this 1,000 times. If I came across me, I wouldn't watch me. Not the type of stuff that I'm really interested in. Unless I was looking for a group that was trying to get ready to fight back when need be. Then I would say this guy might be there. If I was just looking for the information and didn't really care what I was going to do with it and was going to hide to myself, that would be fine. But the days of hiding to ourselves are over, and if we don't stand up in some kind of numbers, then we absolutely might as well put on your mask, shield your face, roll up your sleeve, and fall in line for the internment camp. Now, see, we're not supposed to have that life. We're supposed to have life more abundantly. I grew up in a Pentecostal church where they screamed the good news, okay? And I felt the presence of God. I felt the powerful, positive energy that came from it. Absolutely know that energy was real. I scream because most of the people that say they believe what I believe and that we need to stand up for what we need to stand up for aren't out there screaming. That's why. And I will say it over and over and over again. And no, I put up studies sometimes that are 160 pages long. I spend hours reading those studies to give you one paragraph that's hidden somewhere in the middle that has the tidbit of what we need. I'm not going to spend 8 hours reading those studies on YouTube. I'm sorry, guys. I got a job too. This ain't it. This I'm doing out of the love for my brother. All of my brothers. Not just my Christian brothers, my non-Christian brothers. I love them all. I pray that they see something in my life that makes them want to have what I have. And I pray that God blesses them all regardless and keeps his tug on their heart and reveals himself daily to them in ways they can't deny. I love you guys. I've never met any of you except for John. And that was it's still one of the highlights of my year, brother. Super Dave. Yeah, good for you. Good to see you. Journey, Brian Long, Karen Ann, a lot of names. I just got on the talk. Ellie, good to see all you guys. Much love to you guys. And that was another thing. These live streams aren't a video. These live streams are about me interacting with the people that are coming to interact with me and each other. It's a community. So yes, I stop and I chat with people because I'm still at an area where I can. Chat don't run 1,000 miles an hour. We have enough people where I can communicate. If you don't like that, you're not going to like my channel. I remember the day that I ended up with enough people to chat with and learned how to do the chat and talk. It's been hard. This isn't easy to do. It is hard to flip that camera on in your face when it's not your forte and tell people the things that are wrong with their government that they love so much, that are wrong with their religions that they love so much, there's wrong with their science that they love so much. That's hard to do. The majority of people aren't down with that. So it's took a little time. You guys in the chat have been coming to watch me when I was battling and stumbling through stories. So there's absolutely no way I'm not going to stop and chat with these guys. This is a live session of answering comments because I didn't even put hearts on the last video. I just read a few of them and I stopped and I decided that's going to get answered live. There's just no way I could type all of these feelings in these returns. So I hope they see them. I hope they hear it. Because I'm fixing to start in on a couple of articles that I'm going to try to get through pretty quickly. And I am going to go to work because I have a job and I got my truck fixed this morning. I got it cranked. I got the tire repaired. I got everything took care of. And I decided to do this during my lunch break. And then I'm going to go to work. So D-Livers, I may not be there for D-Live tonight because I may be at work tonight. So all you guys that's asking, why I don't read everything, it's because I have a job. This is a labor of love for Pete, for my brother. Well, welcome in, Steven Snyder. I hope you enjoy it. And boy, you come in at just a time. I'm really unloading my opinions. Oh. Somebody brought up Jerry Clower to me last night. He said, do you remember who Jerry Clower is? I was like, oh, ain't no way you talking about Jerry Clower from Yazoo City, Mississippi, right up the road from me. See, I like the D-Live better too, and that's the reason I stream there every night. And like I tell them guys, I actually go over the material more on D-Live, and I find so much that I bring it to YouTube when I can. All right, yeah, I agree with that, Victoria. Most of the so-called church are following the beast. I've had a problem with organized religion and churches since I was young. I grew up in a Pentecostal church with about 46 people. If that church still existed in that format, I would still be in that church every Sunday because I had no doubt that in that church, those were the Father-fearing, through the Son, believing Christians. And the Pentecostal preacher that I grew up under, he answered questions to me in an honest way. And you think being Pentecostal, it would be a condemnation church. It wasn't. It wasn't condemnation at all. They were holy rollers, and they celebrated. And it taught me exactly what I know now. And our church that I grew up in actually taught against what some of the things the big churches were doing and the way they were falling. Now, I personally believe that churches shouldn't have a tax-exempt status. I think that tax-exempt status puts them under the government a little bit, where they have to bow the knee some. So that's just a... Oh, cool. Hey there, Teresa and Joni and Journey and Darlene and all you guys. Welcome in. Love you all. I don't catch every comment, but I try to catch a bunch of them. I used to love to go and hang up on Wake Up's channel, and then life hit in 2020, and, you know, I got a real job. She comes on at like midnight my time, so I try to catch her on the weekends, but I go to sleep listening a good bit. I really like Wake Up. So, we're not going to talk about vaccines right now. We're going to talk about internment camps in Canada. And, let's see. Let me just get started. Let me get the screen share. There's an article here. Once again, every article is in the description. Now, one thing I am going to work on, for the guy who left this in the comment, I used to do this all the time, and I kind of forgot and got away from it. I can make the screen bigger so that we can get the words bigger on the screen and y'all can see them. That's got to be better there. Okay. Love you, Ryan. Have a great day, brother. Can't wait to see some more great pictures on Twitter. Hey, Chrissy, good to see you. Look at that. I might even... Chrissy, are you at lunch? Are you on a break where you can actually listen? Ain't no way. See, I remember those type of things about y'all. Because when I leave here, this is all I think about. I think about you guys. I think about what you got going on. I pray for you guys, what you got going on. I pray for my family, what we got going on, and I think about, I had a groundbreaking idea in the bathtub the other day. How come we can track every lottery ticket or scratch-off card sold with no problem down to the store it sold at, where it was manufactured at, what time it was bought, what time it was scratched off, and what time it was scanned, when the payout happened, and exactly how much it was, but we can't get voting right? That ought to tell you right there that the rigging of voting and the voting is all a sham. It's just to give adults the illusion of control. They don't want you to decide if you can wear a mask. They sure ain't going to let you pick who runs the country. That's my opinion on that. I could be wrong, YouTube, but I'm not. Hey, Joe Shields, you jumped in here today, too. Good to see you. Good to see you. Tet, good to see you. Yeah, bathtub revelation. I was laying there thinking about stuff, and it just hit me because I had been in the convenience store that day, and I'd seen the woman get the ticket, scratch it off. She won something. They scanned the ticket, and they said, oh, okay, well, you've got this much on this ticket. Do you want to apply it to your purchase, or do you want to get paid back? And I'm thinking, why can't we do that with voting? We can do it with a, yeah. It's made to be this way. It's made to divide you. You got a bird flying. Left wing, right wing. Who's in the middle? His talons dragging you along the water like a fish that he's dragging out. Ain't gonna go feed it to his babies. Okay. Almond orchard. Hey, that's awesome. I don't have no orchards, but I did have a walnut tree that started producing after we cut the sweet gums back around it this year, and I got like two 5-gallon buckets of almonds drying out right now. Not almonds, walnuts right now that I'm gonna start cracking open and eating, and hoping they're any good this year, because the pecans suck this year. Okay, I'm gonna hit these articles, go over this. I really wasn't even gonna. This is probably going to come up again in a totally separate stream, because I really just wanted to get all that off my chest. Plain Reality. Hey, Plain. Good to see you. Marcus and Angie, good to see you. It's so funny, that name, that I know a couple that are married named Marcus and Angie Cook. That's wild. Bob. Voting illusion. Yep. Actively defending freedom. Yep. They figure they've defended their freedom in voting. All right. Now I'm going to get to this article. Now, this article's not that long, so I may read the whole thing and then take you into the government documentation, which I will not read the whole thing. This is from the Post Millennial. It has been reported that authorities in Quebec City, Canada, intend to isolate unruly citizens in a COVID-19 facility, though the precise location is not known. Dr. Jacques Girard, leader of the Quebec City Public Health Authority, stated during a press conference that a number of customers at a bar were ordered to wait for the results from their COVID-19 test, but decided to leave the premises before the results came back. Tell you something, they'd have had a tough time getting me to leave the premises before they shoved that thing up my nose. This is what Girard claims to have led them to being taken and forcibly placed into isolation by the state. Not going to play this video, it's a YouTube video. The link is in the description. We may isolate someone for 14 days, Girard noted during the press conference, and it is what we did this morning. Forced a person to cooperate with the investigation, and police cooperation was exceptional. Police cooperation was exceptional. Now we'll get to that. I'm going to show you their public works orders here in a few minutes. Girard went on to say that if a person is told to stay in isolation, public health officials have the duty to go to their home and force the person to comply. And if they do not comply, the state is permitted to pick them up and force them to adhere to the protocols. Y'all ought to go check out that video, but I'm not playing it here. I'll play it on DLive next time I'm on. Girard then continued by going into detail that prompted the action, saying, the order targeted two people who were not cooperating, and it is great that we can finally work with that provision. You know, before, if we weren't in a health crisis, the public health director could use this provision for 72 hours while waiting for the judge's confirmation of such a provision. They just said right there in plain English, in the King's English, because I think a Canadian wrote it. It is great that we can finally work with that provision. You know, before, if we were not in a health crisis, the public health director could use this provision for 72 hours. Now, they can do it for 14 days. In the COVID-19 case, we may isolate someone for 14 days. And it's what we did this morning and we have done in the past. And such as this morning forced a person to cooperate with the investigation, and we've done it in the past with success. And police cooperation was exceptional. I hope that's not playing. I don't think it is. I'd hear it. Thank you all. Have a great day. When you order someone to not leave home for 14 days, does it happen in their home? Someone replied with, it is not a home, 14 days at home. I don't know what that means. Girard said that it is in a prison. Do you feel like you're in a prison? Because that's it. Often it is what we do. It is a location. We at the CIUSS, that's a government agency, and I don't know what it is. I'm not familiar with Canada stuff much at all. Have the power to provide for preventative isolations. It's happening. Finally, it is a much easier provision when someone is not cooperating and it becomes more difficult. Whew. This is why I scream. If you can't see the writing on the wall, and people go, well, it's just 14 days. It was just a mask to flatten the curve and a 4-week lockdown to begin with. Guys, the human brain is malleable. Life will never return to what it was in December of 2019. When life does return to what the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, UNICEF, the World Bank, the globalists, the New World Order, when life returns to their new normal, they will have locked Americans down for so long, made them so sick, so weak, so depressed, that when they get that first glimpse of their new normal, they will love it as normal. That's being asleep. That's having unawareness of what's going on. That's letting your brain be changed slowly on a daily basis by not reading this type of information. Hey guys, for those of y'all that watch this later, not the ones in this chat, I'm not talking to y'all at all right now. For the y'all that watch this later, if you see this and go, well, he's screaming, and he's that, and he's too mad. When you 14 days turns into 6 months in an internment camp because you took the COVID test and they said you got to get locked up, you gave a little bit of trouble, remember that a screaming, painting redneck in Mississippi told you, you better start screaming, you better get some righteous indignation, be angry and sin not, stand up for your rights, stand up for yourself, stand up for your family, and stand up for your brother. If you don't, we will all go down in a ball of flame, and there's going to be absolutely nothing you can do about it, but wake up when it's over and fall in line in their great new world that they have. Yep, the 72-hour thing is gone. That's right. No more 72-hour holds. They can turn that into a 14-day hold. Remember how many freedoms and rights were lost on 9/11 under the Patriot Act? You're going to get that and twice as many more after this. All right, now let me show you. So I said, okay, we got to find this stuff. And I'm going to share with y'all a YouTube page here in a minute. I clicked on a link that was left because I'm going to give the girl that did this full credit. I love what she's doing. The first article that I clicked on already went straight to page not found. HTTP 404. Well, when I find that, the first thing I do is I go to the Wayback Machine and hope we can find it. And we could. The links for both are in the description, so you can go get the 404 error. And you can just click right on to the web, and you don't got to look it up. See, I made it easy for you. All you have to do is click the link in the description if you're already listening and you're already not liking me. You're already thinking about hitting that thumbs down. Why don't you reach on over and click on the links and read them a little bit, and make your own channel and share it out and scream it. How about that? Hey, look, bugs. I cannot read that. CQ, oh, welcome in. I'm glad you found it too, buddy. Plain, you're okay. I think I got everybody up on the screen right now. Good. I love all you guys. I really do. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't be screaming. I wouldn't care. I'd be out by the lake with a fishing rod today, not giving a crap. You see what I'm saying? I would still be that guy watching the videos, using the information for my own personal use, and I'd be out in the woods doing nothing for my fellow man. But I've got that push in my life now. All right, this is a tender notice, letter of interest, request for information. This is the same thing for a request for proposal from the United States government. The original article was at buyandsell.gc.ca/procurement data. Now we go down here to the description. Trade agreement between CETA and CFTA. All interested suppliers may submit a bid. Competitive procurement strategy, comprehensive land claim agreement, and nature of requirements. Request for information regarding service providers for federal quarantine isolation sites for the Government of Canada. Hello. Request for information regarding service providers for federal quarantine isolation sites for the Government of Canada. The Government of Canada is considering engaging a third-party service provider for federal quarantine isolation sites that will be used to house and care for people for public health and other related federal requirements associated with the COVID-19 pandemic response. The government is seeking feedback from current service providers about potential options for standing up, operating, and managing all of the services associated with these sites. The purpose of this request for information is to seek feedback from potential service providers in order to develop a strategy for the potential future management of these sites going forward. How long are they planning on this to go on? Just exactly how long are they planning on this to go on? Nikki, good to see you. I've been praying for you. I'm so glad you popped in here. I've seen you a short time and you disappeared, and worry about you when I don't see you. Good to see you. Stay in touch. Let us know you're okay. Love you, girl. I appreciate you guys too, Chrissy. Love you. Have a great day at work. I'm going to be gone soon. I got to get to work too. I got a couple of these articles I got to get through. Should the government of Canada determine that a third-party managed solution going forward is a viable strategy, Public Services and Procurement Canada may issue a request for proposal to provide suppliers the opportunity to bid on these services. So they plan on this going a long way. I'm not going to get into here. These are the solicitation documents. I'll just show you what a solicitation document is for those of you that don't know. I'm very familiar with the ones from the federal government here. That's all I've done most of my life was federal government construction. Yep. Request for information. This would be like a design build project. They're in the design phase. Okay, now I'm going to move on. You can link to all of these from right here. The links still are good even from the web archive. And they also put out a tender notice. This is an actual request for proposal. What are they expecting to go on in 2021 in Canada after all of this happens? And they're going to be prepared for it. The description of this proposed procurement. The Department of National Defense has a requirement for the items detailed below. Item 1, riot control agent, chemical agent, tear gas. Quantity, 36,000 capsules. And now look, I can't, these dates right here, really, and numbers. Once you see things, you just can't unsee it. Quantity, 36,000. Well, the 666, 36, that's there, and I don't know what, 36,000, whatever. Let's bypass that. The date to be delivered, okay, to Canada Forces Ammunition Depot, Saskatchewan, March the 31st, 3/31 of 2021. The riot control agent is required for training purposes only. It is required to train Canadian Armed Forces personnel in the use of the respirator against basic chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear defense. So that's the type of thing that that's the type of thing right there that just kind of puts them in the clear. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I didn't blow that up. I will blow that up for y'all. It makes you see it a little better. I'm so sorry. I got to get better at that. I will work on that because I want you to be able to see the information. The information is what's important, not the delivery. The riot control agent is required for training purposes only. Yeah, 36,000 capsules to train to get ready for what in 2021? Because you know what's funny, and I got this link in the description too, we have this thing going on in the United States right now called Interim Operation Considerations for Implementing the Shielding Approach. The shielding approach to prevent COVID-19 infections in humanitarian settings. What is the shielding approach? Well, it sounds a lot like what Canada's going to be doing. The shielding approach aims to reduce the number of severe COVID-19 cases that are piling up around the world, and bodies are falling out of refrigerated trucks and people are falling over on the side of the street because it's just a pandemic we can't get under control. And you don't even remember it unless we keep pointing it in your face that something bad is going on. By limiting contact between individuals at higher risk of developing severe disease, high risk, and the general population. For those of y'all that didn't miss it, these are prison terms. High risk, general population. High risk individuals will be temporarily relocated to safe or green zones. You know. Oh golly, I can't believe the word just left my brain. Protective custody. You know, they call it protective custody of prison. There really ain't a whole lot protective about it. Protective custody just means you're singled out so one person can get you in a room somewhere by themselves. Been there, done that. I know what I'm talking about. Established at the household, neighborhood, camp/sector, or community level, depending on the context and setting. They would have minimal contact with family members and other low-risk residents. Don't you love the way that they're putting that politically correct spin on things to make it sound so much like they love and care about you, that they want to just take care of you and save you so much they would take you away from your family so that you can't make your family sick. Current evidence indicates that older adults and people of any age who have serious underlying medical conditions are at higher risk. Let me take that sentence and reword that for you, Mr. CDC. You know, the dumb redneck painter from Mississippi. Current evidence indicates that older adults and people of any age who have serious underlying medical conditions are at higher risk for severe illness from any type of bronchial infection, pneumonia, influenza, common cold, anything that gets into a person that has already a high risk for severe illness, any type of cold infection, rhinovirus, adenovirus, coronavirus, influenza, anything like that. Not just COVID-19 is being the label for being sick. If you have a sniffle, oh, it's COVID-19. My nose is dripping. It's COVID-19. Remember back when they had the SARS thing and it was all signed into law and people were screaming, oh, well, they can now detain you for a runny nose because, well, they're doing away with the cold and the flu and all that. And now you're just gonna have COVID. Guess what? If you look up the statistics for deaths, just deaths, and you take the reason why they died away, we're on not even a normal year. Yeah, it's amazing the amount of people that quit having heart attacks this year. It's amazing at the amount of people that quit having flu-related deaths. Whoa, that went down this year, didn't it? They say that's because the mask and social distancing work. That's why I scream, guys. Wake up, Captain Rankin. Good to see you guys. Much love. Anybody I miss, I'm so sorry because I love every one of you. You know I do. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't be here screaming. I'd be living my life. I would be living my life. Because I'm going to live my life anyway. Here in a little while, I'm going to leave. I'm going to get away from this for a little while, and I'll be thinking about it. But I'm going to do everything I can to make it a good day. For this reason, the shielding approach suggests physically separating high-risk individuals from the general population. You know, that's kind of what they do in prison. To prioritize the use of the limited available resources and avoid implementing long-term containment measures among the general population. Now look, guys, I'm not the type of person that tells you, Rick, good to see you. I'm not the type of person that's going to tell you, you got the right to do whatever you want. Well, you kind of do. But a good, normal person, if they're sick and they feel sick and they know they're sick, they're not going to go out and try to infect people. Most people just aren't going to do that. Now, you got a lot of these people, they catch them licking poles and all that. Just imagine what was on that pole before they licked it anyway. Probably worse for them than what they're trying to give to somebody else. We tell people, cough in your hand, and then they shake hands. Well, not anymore. They bump fists, but still, if I cough in my hand, it's going through my fingers to the outside of my fingers. And then we walk up to each other and go, what up, bro? There's no difference. People aren't falling down on the street. People aren't piling up in trucks. And the only hospitals that have probably got anybody in them are the places like where they're, I'm not even going to say it like that, but the places where they put people that were supposedly sick into the nursing homes. There's 5 states where the majority of deaths come from. And everybody in those nursing homes, I'm sorry, guys. I love my mother. She was in a assisted living. I love all them people around them. I work around them all the time. But they are close to the edge. My business depends on the life cycle. And at first, I wouldn't get to know them. And then I was like, wow, you know, I'm really missing out. And I got to knowing some of them and realizing they were on the way out the door. Most of them realized it too. And they were just having a great life there at the end. And I got to know a bunch of them. And I don't know what that had to do with what I was saying, but it seemed important. Oh, they knew they were on their way out. And they did their best not to catch a cold. They did their best not to catch the flu. Most all of them that are old are like, I'm not getting a flu shot. They'd never had them in their life. And most all of these people were really healthy. And as they pass away, from whatever reason, one of them got bronchitis, one gets pneumonia. They just don't make it because they're 80 to 90, and they're not flying to Antarctica and getting RNA treatment. Tell y'all more about that idea I have in my head later. Treat her for COVID. Yeah, no matter what you talk to a doctor about, whatever you talk to your doctor about, it's going to be COVID. Well, most doctors. I'll tell y'all something. In Mississippi, we still have some people with sense. I know a doctor flat out said, your mama didn't die from COVID. She died from COPD with the diabetes problem. I said, what's the death certificate going to say, doc? He said, your death certificate's going to say diabetes with COPD. I said, thank you. He said, there's no need to thank me. That's the truth. I'm not down with screwing the people that I care for. It's a good doctor, y'all. It's a real good doctor, and I hope if I ever need heart work, he's the one that sees me. I've left the link in the description for this, and I've also left the link in the description for this because I realized that I had only put it in the chat of the last live stream. It has in here about the face masks from the CDC, where it says, let's just read it real quick. Disposable masks, also known as surgical masks, are loose-fitting devices that were designed to be worn by medical personnel to protect accidental contamination of patient wounds and to protect the wearer against the splashes or sprays of bodily fluids. There is limited evidence for their effectiveness. That's about as big as I can make it. Where'd it go? Uh-oh. Made it big and I lost it. Oh, okay, it went down. Maybe it's still lit up. Maybe I'll find it. Crap. Maybe I went one too far. Face mask, there it is. Oh, I lost my highlight. That's what it was. And protect the wearer against splashes or sprays of bodily fluids. There is limited evidence for their effectiveness in preventing influenza virus transmission, either when worn by the infected person for source control or when worn by uninfected persons to reduce exposure. Our systematic review found no significant effect on face masks on transmission of laboratory-confirmed influenza. I probably lost a friend I had for a long time that I made mad the other day. I went to the paint store to pick up some paint, and I never wear a mask in. And then they don't say much to me. They let me come in, grab my paint, and go. But the other day I was going to be funny, right? I was just being kind of funny because the people in there I always joke with. So I wore one of my fireman masks in. No, I'm not a fireman. I buy used equipment from auctions. Never, that equipment's good. And so I throw my fireman mask on and I walk in and I go, hey, what's up? Right? And they kind of looked at me. One of them kind of chuckled, and I was just kind of chuckling. I kind of raised it up on my head. And I'm sitting there, and I get my stuff, and she said, boy, you really got some protection. I said, protection? I'm the only one that would have any protection if it was a real pandemic. She said, huh? She had on a cotton mask. I said, you realize that the mask you have on is kind of like if you're trying to stop a virus with that mask, is the exact same thing of trying to stop a mosquito with a chain link fence. She started on and on about the people she knew that were sick and all that. I looked at her dead in the eyes, and I'm not going to say her name because I really like her, and I hope she don't stay mad at me forever. I actually changed paint stores because this woman changed paint jobs, and I felt she got done wrong at the other one. I changed paint stores. That's the kind of person I am. I looked at her and I said, I called her by name. I said, if you are that scared of this virus and you think it's that real, you need to put your mask on, double it up, go get in your car, get to your house, lock your door, seal the doors, seal the windows, and don't come out until your overlord government tells you it's safe. She got mad and walked in the back, didn't even say goodbye. But like I tell y'all, I tell people what I believe. And I hate to be that way to people I like, but I hope she takes that information. You know, I even dropped back by a couple of copies of some of this stuff I'd printed off and to her boss and said, look, this is the reason I said the things I said. And he took and read it, and he didn't have a mask on, but Anyway. So I left that link and I wanted to go ahead for y'all. Now, I'm going to share this channel with y'all. I'm not going to play her video. She's called What's Her Face. This video is linked in the description and she is hilarious in this video. I've looked at the title of her other videos and they're like, why Plandemic was censored and removed, the end of the coronavirus lockdown. And I'm going to check them out because she's got to be hilarious. And she's getting quite a few views on this stuff. But man, it's so funny. Just for a second, I'm going to let you hear the beginning of it. And then I'm going to, I'm not going to play but a couple of seconds, but y'all ought to check this out. Link is in the description. She is hilarious.
My apologies. I was wearing my mask because I just got back from a full day of being a good person.
My apologies. I just got back from wearing my mask all day because I was being a good person. I love the cynicalism in this. I bet a lot of people just straight miss the cynicism in this.
I love my mask because it's a simple yet effective way to display my righteousness.
It's a simple yet effective way to display my righteousness.
To the fact that every socialist takeover has always begun in the exact same way, with government overreach, public shaming, censorship, and a toilet paper shortage. Don't believe me? Google toilet paper shortage in communist Russia. Did you think you were having a unique experience?
I love that. Do you think you were having a unique experience? Oh, it's so funny. I love that girl. Y'all ought to go check her out. The links are below. Tell her Fallout sent you. She won't have a clue who he is or who Fallout is, but tell her anyway if you happen to make it there. And she's hilarious in this video anyway. And I'm going to say just by looking at that, and when you see somebody act this way, they're probably going to be that way most of the time. So, yeah. All right. Okay, that's all I got, and I got to get to work. I actually went longer than I anticipated anyway, but I run my mouth for a little bit in the beginning and got it back to where I was. That picture right there is one I got the other day, the one on the screen now, of the sun through the Kim clouds. You know, because why not? It's 2020. Let's poison the crap out of them. All right, guys, check this out. Now's the part of the time where I give my thanks back to my Creator and back to Christ, what I believe in. If you don't pray, I appreciate you being here. If you want to hang out with us and be part of it, that's great. I'm going to tell y'all something. There's probably a group of 30 to 40 people that pray together every night on DLive that probably don't get together and pray with anybody else. Potheads, drinkers, you know, people that live real life, but they pray. They believe in their God. They appear to believe in Christ. And I appreciate every one of them that are there, even because they share their lives, what's going on, and they share their hardships, they share their happiness, and we all live it together. So at the end of every stream, I give my thanks back to my Creator. And if you have anything that you would like to ask for a prayer request, that you would like to ask the Father, type it in the chat. We know He sees it because I ask Him to come dwell and be with us every stream that we have. I pray for His protection over the stream. Just like the Satanists and the witches pray for their demons and possessions to go into their things, well, I pray for the Father to protect mine. And it appears to be working. At least in some kind of way. And I could, you know, for somebody that hasn't been doing this long and screams at the screen, I can only, the fact that y'all show up in here and watch it, it means a lot to me. I love all of you guys. I love all you guys. So, you can put it in the chat. We know the Father sees it. And if I happen to see it, I'll mention it. And if you don't want to put your prayer requests out, that's fine. All of us here are praying together, and we know what happens when there's more gathered in the midst. I will absolutely do so, Appalachian Granny. And y'all, when I pray at night, there's no way I can remember all these names. I pray, Father, you know everybody on these chats. I have 2 or 3 that we cover. Yep, 99% recovery. I've been commenting back to the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab. I'd imagine it's only a matter of time before he blocks me on Twitter. He's not gonna like the things I'm saying. All right, guys. Father, we thank you for allowing us to come together in this time of fellowship, to be able to meet with like-minded people, and to be able to go through these things that we go through, to be able to see them for what they are, evil, hand that's being forced on us, and for having the ability for us to see it, and to be able to be aware of it, and to be able to fight against it. Father, I pray that you give us the strength, you give us the wisdom, you give us the knowledge that you would have us to have, so that we can come together and fight for these things in the way that would be beneficial for you, beneficial for the kingdom of heaven, and beneficial for our fellow brothers and sisters on earth, whether they are for us or not. Father, I really do love each and every one here in this chat, and I pray that you please protect them, that you'll cover them with your full armor, that you will give them the strength to pick up those fiery darts that the devil throws at us daily, that not only will we be able to block them, that we'll be able to grab them, throw them back, and maybe put him on the run a little bit. It's been a long time since that's happened, and Father, I pray that you help us put that together. Father, I pray that you give us all the ability to speak boldly the mysteries of the gospel and the mysteries of the things that are being done to us, so that people can see, be awakened. For all of those that aren't seeing, I pray that you help us to help them see. For those that won't see, I pray that you help us protect. For those that do see and won't do anything about it, Father, I pray that your will be done in their life and not my will. And I pray that you help me to understand sometimes that the difference between the anger that's righteous and the anger that's not. I know my anger sometimes goes in the wrong direction. I ask you to forgive me for that here in front of you and men. And I ask you to forgive me for all of my shortcomings, for I know they are many, but I'm working on them on a daily. I ask you for anybody that has any requests in the chat, in their heart. We know you're here with us. I know you're here with each and every one of us, believers and non-believers, because I pray for it. I ask you to touch their lives. I ask you for the non-believers, for you to reveal yourself to them on a daily basis in a way they can't say it's not God. And I thank you for revealing yourself to us believers who know you're real and you have love for us. I thank you that you sent your son to die on that cross, take the crucifixion, so that we could pray for our healing and that we could come straight to you for our salvation and not have to put our trust in a flawed man. And it's in his precious name that I pray. Oh, now, I got a second here. Kurt, good to see you, brother. Darlene, there's so many that I might have missed y'all. Appalachian Granny, I know I missed a lot of chat today, guys. Wake up. Denise, good to see all of y'all. John, love you, brother. Follow after Jesus Christ. Oh, Denise, Appalachian Granny. My eyes are getting bad, y'all. It's hard for me to see that screen. Darlene, Paris is calling. Good to see all of you guys. Much love. And if I didn't do anything else, I would still come on here every once in a while and we could get together and pray. Honestly, the first hour is just getting people in here, really. Oh, Jeannie, good to see you. Much love. Believe popped in here on me. Good to see you, Believe. Hope you're doing all right. Believe's been with me at D-Live for a long time, too. Always in my prayers. Joe Shields, T. Luke, Tetragrammatron. So good to see all you guys. CQ, glad you made it in, CQ. I'm glad you made it here, too. Oh, Appalachian, you were on that list. The dog named Boo, Joni, Jan, not asleep. I love some of these names, too. Applied Knowledge, Karen Ann, Captain Rankin. Wow, there's a lot of y'all in here today. See, I know y'all that I'm talking to. You guys are with me. And I've seen John. I know he's with me. Hey, John, you asked me what we could do that time and I couldn't answer it. I'm working on that, brother. I'm really working on it. I don't know exactly what we're going to do, but we're going to have to do something. So right now I'm screaming, and we'll take it from there. Journey, Saved Sooner. Good to see you, Saved Sooner. Captain Rankin, love pugs, and YouTube sucks. I chuckle every time I say that name. Every time I say your name, I have to chuckle, and every time Jenny's in here, I have to sing her. So, okay, look, I love all you guys. I really do. I appreciate you more than you know, because this isn't just about me. It's about us. It's about the information. It's about us as a group. It's about us as God's children that are having a boot on their throat. We got to get rid of that boot. Journey, same to you guys, to all of you guys. I love you. I appreciate you. Now it's time for me to have to go to work. As bad as I don't want to, but you know what? Everything happens exactly like it's supposed to. My truck broke down. Information popped in my... Delenzio, good to see you too, brother. Much love. My tire was flat, and so I had to get the tire fixed, battery fixed, and all that done, and then that information was just right there in my face. I tell you, I pray to the Father for this information, and some of it I don't have to dig very far for. It's just handed to me. That girl, what's her face, YouTube, she dug that information up. I took it straight off her channel. I'm not even going to lie to you about it. That's the reason I'm telling you about her channel, because I believe in sharing that with you. Now, you don't have to do that with my channel. I'm giving you full permission to share anything from my channel you want, and you don't have to put my name on it, because I want people to get this message. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the views. I don't care about the thumbs up. I don't care about the thumbs down. I know the thumbs up help get the thing out, but we're at a time where the algorithms are going to fight against us. The only thing that's going to help us get information out is us sharing the information with the people we know. That's the first step. I'm not on Facebook. I have no Facebook account, so no way to do that. I started the Twitter account strictly for notifications, but I am starting to post more stuff on it. I stay away from a lot of the Twitter posting because it's just a vile place. So much hatred and stuff back and forth, you can't really get anything apart. But I am using it to fight back against the World Economic Forum, the International Monetary Fund, and it may only be one small tiny comment at a time, but they absolutely know how this silly country boy in Mississippi feels about what they have going on. I even sent a tweet back to, they's talking about the upcoming food shortages and how it's caught everybody off guard and the pandemic. I actually tagged Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum and said, wow, you guys should read the Sustainability Act of 21. It's a thing that they wrote back in 1992, and it talked about all of this happening. I can't believe y'all didn't see it coming. Hashtag cynicism. So I don't imagine it'll be very long before I get blocked by Professor Klaus Schwab. And hopefully tonight I get to spend a little more time with my book, COVID-19 and Great Reset. Yeah, you know, all of that. Look, guys, YouTube sucks. It's in the guy's name. Girl, guy, I don't even know what you are. YouTube sucks. I call everybody guys, so don't think I'm calling it. YouTube sucks. Twitter sucks. They all suck. They're all time stealers. A lot of people get involved in this and they can't get away. See, I'm having trouble getting away now because I'm screaming about it. I love you guys. Remember, love God, love your neighbor, love yourself, and everything else will fall in line. Simple as that. We couldn't follow 10 commandments. God came, took on flesh, and said, here's one. If you love God, you got the first 4 10 commandments under control. If you love your neighbor as you love yourself, the next 6 fall in line. Discord link. It's in the description. There's always a Discord link in the description. Thank you, John Hart. And look, ain't it funny? My Discord link has EMP in it. I don't make that link. It was just sent to me that way. All right. Guys, I love you all. I appreciate you all. And I'm out of here. Hope you all have a great day. And I don't know exactly when I'll be back on YouTube again. It could be a long week. But I'll be on D-Live as many nights as I can this week. I love you. Appreciate you. Love God, love your neighbor, love yourself, and don't forget it.